All right. All praise is due to Allah. We are live, brothers and sisters. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger and exalted Christ. And I further bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the extension of the Son of Man. I would like to give every brother and sister the greeting words of peace, which we say in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, family. This is your brother, man. Knowledge 5845 on the gram, author determined to change, student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan by the way of the eternal leader, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I can never thank Allah enough for appearing in the person of Master Father Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. I pray to Allah God that every brother and sister is alive and well on this Tuesday morning. Peace and blessings, family. I hope everybody is cool this morning. Just want to tap in a little bit. Words of motivation, morning motivation. It's gonna be a little different. You know, we ain't gonna dig too deep in the bag. This morning. Kind of want to stay on the surface. Kind of want it to be really about you in your personal life. All right. Anytime I go live, I know a lot of people be asking me, man, when you gonna go live again? You gonna go live again today? I get DMs, you know, you going live today. And I appreciate, I'm humble. I appreciate how y'all want to hear from your brother, man. And it's very inspiring. It's very motivational. It keeps me determined. But let me explain something to you. I don't hit the live button for entertainment. All right. I don't hit the live button for entertainment. I go live when I'm inspired, you know, and the reality is I try to keep it as organic as I can. I try to keep it as thorough as I can with you, so I don't go live every day. Sometimes I'm going through things. Sometimes I'm in a situation to where I don't feel like going live. You feel me? Sometimes I feel like I just need to be still. I need to be able to wait on Allah. I need to wait for that inspiration, that spirit to hit me, because your spirit, it fluctuates. We can get up here all day long and smile and, hey, you know, life is this, life is woo. And as motivational speakers, that's what we're supposed to do. But me being a motivational speaker, I want to give you the other side of it. The other side of it is a reality as well. The other side of it is you can't escape low vibrations. That's what I like to call them, low vibration. You can't escape that. All right. And that is a reality. That is a part of your connection. That is a part of your navigation to becoming the person that you want to become. So you have to have that. You have to have the low vibrations as well. And sometimes you just need to just sit back and regroup. And when you inspire, then that's when you talk to the people. Let me say this, family. Every prophet that was in the scriptures, they didn't just talk to the people all the time, right? Not saying that I'm a prophet. You know, I'm not trying to compare myself and say, oh, this brother is a prophet. No. But prophets were human beings. We cannot exclude that. They were human beings. So when a revelation hit them is when they was inspired to address the people, talk to the people. So that's how I kind of operate as well, you know. So I strive to be inspired, you know, 3-4 times, maybe even 5 times a week, to where I do want to speak about something, and my spirit says, hey, you know, share this with somebody. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, him being my spiritual father, he taught us. He said, listen, we have this technology. We have this this platform, this social media. Use it to your best of ability. We have enough foolishness that's on social media. We can all turn on social media to where it's just feeding our brain waves, to where it's dumbing us down. We see that all the time. So we need something to be able to offset the ignorance, being saturated in tricks and lies. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has given us instructions to, when you go live, man, speak about freedom, justice, and equality. Speak to the people inside to bring them peace and happiness. Allow your energy to be transferred in a way so we can touch all of our brothers and sisters 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away, all across the world at a click of a button. So when I go live, I'm really striving to be in tune, because what I say to you and what I address to you, I really, really, literally wanted to touch you and for you to receive it in the best of ways. Okay, if that makes sense. So what I was inspired to speak about this morning is, the title of my live is The Waiting Room of God. Boy. I'm going to say that again, family. The waiting room of God. Very, very heavy. And I want to write down some things that I want to speak and share with you, some things that I wrote down about being in the waiting room of God. It's not easy, man. We don't believe the hype. Don't get caught up in the social media where everybody is flashing money. You know, everybody is showing nice cars, materialistic, and some people have those things, but that doesn't bring you peace. You've heard me say before that you can buy happiness. You can. If you got money, you can buy happiness. Whatever you feel like you want to do, you can exchange that and receive whatever you desire to a certain extent in exchange. Money. We all need it. But what you cannot take your greenbacks, what you cannot take your dead presidents in exchange it for, is peace. That's a higher order. In order to gain peace, that's a higher order. You can't turn that in. The dead presidents, the slave masters, you can't turn that in to receive peace. In order to receive peace, you have to look in the mirror and you have to go to war. You have to go to war with what is stirring back out at you. That is self. Yes, we understand the system that we have been shaped in, the system that we have been born in, born into sin. That's what that means. I don't want us to think that when we come out of the womb of our mothers, we are sinners. That is not the way to understand born into sin. Some people say we was born sinners. No, it's not. No, that's not true. We're not born sinners. We're born into sin. Why are we born into sin? Because of the system that is currently that's ruling the world, ruling the earth. Wickedness. So it says right after saying being born into sin and what? Shaped in iniquity. Think about it. We're born in a system and shaped in a system. What is that system? It is white supremacy. It's not. We don't have to be politically correct, because when I go live, Instagram, YouTube, I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm trying to share truth and speak truth, because Jesus said in the scriptures, truth will set us free. So when we talk about setting ourselves free, it comes in the form of not as popular. If that makes sense. Anytime you see a person setting themselves free, on the surface, it's going to look like they're crazy. It's going to look like they're weird. Example, we all know our brother Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, our brother Kyrie Irving. A lot of people are saying, oh, they're weird. They're weird. Are they really? Are they weird? Because they're speaking outside of the shaping of iniquity. They're learning to think outside of a program that we were born in. It's called The Matrix, honestly. All of us have pretty much seen the movie The Matrix. And as we looked at that movie, we were so entertained by all of the bullets flying and the screen slowing down and all of this. But if you paid attention, it was a world that we were born into, corrupt, shaped into, and they used their own kind. I want y'all to hear me, family. They used their own kind. Neo, a European. See, who was he going against? Other Europeans trying to come out of their world. But who did they use up under Neo to say, you're the one? They used Morpheus, a black man who understood. The Oracle, a black woman. Y'all don't hear me. But they tried to make an offset and use the one as a white man. You see you see how the truth and falsehood is mixed? You see how they bring tricks and lies and deceptive intelligence? They mix truth and falsehood. They get you right where they can get you, and then they drop you off the cliff with a lie, with deception. But that's another story. But anyway, let's get back to it. The waiting room of God. That is the title of the live today. I want you to think about yourself. The things that I wrote down, I want you to think about yourself. I want you to see yourself. I want you to look in the mirror, self-improve. I want you to be able to say, damn, that's me. I heard that. I need that. So let's get into it. Okay. If we're being totally honest, most of us don't like waiting. We all have felt that effect of we're waiting on something. In the Quran, it talks about patience all the way through the Holy Quran. Patience, patience, patience. In the scriptures, in the Bible, for our scripture readers, we look throughout the Bible from Genesis through Revelation. It talks something about being patient, patient. But sometimes we tend to be patient for so long, nothing is changing. We become impatient. A lot of times we miss the blessing because we become impatient. We miss the success, even though God will bring it back around to us and say, hey, look, you missed that bus. Y'all know how you be on the bus stop every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, another bus is coming. And you know how sometimes you running for the bus, but the bus already gone and you like, damn. You become discouraged, you become frustrated, and you have to train yourself to be patient. Okay, what can you do? That bus is gone. You have to regroup and you have to humble yourself and say, well, the reality is I missed that one. I have to wait on the next one. I have to wait for the next one. And what do? You have to gain and learn patience. And it might be another 20 minutes before the next bus comes. But guess what? When you see that bus coming, you feel a little different, don't you? When you see it coming, you get a little more relief. Ah, it's time to go. Oh, my bus is hurt. Yes. You feel me? It's the same way with life. I'm not saying that we're not going to feel impatient. I'm not saying that we're not going to feel the pain of whatever we are having to endure. If we're being totally honest, most of us don't like waiting, particularly if we're waiting on something to change or something to get better. Waiting can be a frustrating experience. But the worst kind of waiting is waiting on God. That's the worst kind of waiting, because we're waiting on something. When you have to wait on God, we're told in scriptures over and over again to wait on the Lord. And we see the police brutality. We see the injustice. We're looking for the new raise on the job. We're looking for we're striving to land this deal. It says the most difficult place to be in life is in God's waiting room. Boy, that's so true. Having to be in the waiting room of God, you just waiting. Y'all know how you go to the doctor? You waiting on your medicine. You waiting to see the doctor. You really don't want to be there, but you know you got to go. You're going to get your license renewed. You waiting on that number to come across the screen. You sitting there and you steady looking at your number. You like, damn, I don't want to come here. You waiting. Impatient. We've all been there. Something is going on in our life right now that we're waiting on. And I understand that. But in the reality, we know we have to wait. But what's more important than waiting is discovering how to wait. You didn't hear me, family. I'm going to say that again. We know that we have to wait. That's the reality. We have to wait. But now we have to discover how to wait. We got to discover how to wait. Some of us are in a hurry to get married. I'm not married. Do I want to be married? Yes. God has, listen, let me tell you something. A lot of us are in the waiting room for different things. And sometimes you can get discouraged. And you can hear questions. You start hearing the whispers. You get discouraged. That allows you to become unfocused. You get distracted from the whispers. Oh, why you not married? Or this, or some of us are in a hurry to have a family. As you acquire knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, as you continue to study to show thyself approved, as you continue to gain the teachings and you know the goals, the destination, things that you're working towards, and you're working hard, you're striving, you fall off, you become distracted, you have to get back on the path and you have to start over. It's really not starting over. You're not really starting over. You're just adjusting. Yesterday, I was talking about the breaking of the dawn. Talking about how darkness is mixed with light. But the sun just don't jump out at you. Because if the sun just jumped out, it will blind us. So it gradually brings us along to the light so we can have time to adjust. So in the waiting room of God, God is saying, you're waiting because I'm needing you to adjust to what's coming. I'm giving you time to adjust yourself. Some of us are in a hurry to make a big deal. Yes. We're trying to land deals. We're looking at our personal life and we're seeing, okay, I need this, I need that, I need that. God, I need this, I need that. And you're waiting on the deal to break so you're able to fulfill. You're able to accomplish the things that are necessities that you need accomplished in your own personal life. I understand. I'm in the trenches myself. I'm in the grind myself. I understand that. I understand that. But guess what? God is the all-knowing. So when we feel ourselves feeling like that, that's when we have to turn our mind to understand, man, God know better than I do. In the Quran, it says, God is closer to you than your own jugular vein. A jugular vein is your life vein. You cannot live without your jugular vein. If your jugular vein is cut off, then your life is done. Some interpretations say life vein. Some interpretations say jugular vein. But your jugular vein is a vein that is connected, that goes to your heart. So it's a life vein. So Allah says in the Quran, I'm closer to you than your life vein. So when you hear us in the Nation of Islam, under the life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, guided and taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you hear us say that God is a man. God is a human being. And some people say, oh, the Nation of Islam is wrong. They say that God is a man. But if you stop being so emotional and you rise above your emotions into your intelligence and you become patient and you start to really ponder, as the Quran says, ponder and think deeply on the scriptures. Think deeply in science and mathematics. We start to understand that the highest manifestation of God is a human being. What has more intelligence in the universe than a human being? Talk to me. There is nothing that has come forth in reality that has the intelligence higher than a human being. Nothing. So when Allah says, I'm closer to you than your life vein, then we have to be able to connect that. We have to be able to connect that together and say, okay, if he's closer to me than my life vein, and I need that life vein, what is God telling me? He's saying that once I reach a certain level in myself, I have the potential to operate on a God level. So if I'm operating on a God level, what does that make me? It makes me a God. It's said in the scriptures. David said in Psalms, yea, are all gods of the what? Most High God. What did our brother Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, what did he say? He said, I'm a God. And people get mad at him for saying that, but he said, what did you say? He said, I just told you what I was. I'm a God. But we have a problem with saying that, but we're afraid to say that we're gods. Peace to the God. You hear me say that all the time. Peace, God. Peace to the gods. Oh, man. He didn't lost his mind. Brother Knowledge then did 15 years in a federal penitentiary and came home. Now he talking this God stuff. But it's okay for me to say, what's up, my nigga? It's okay for me to describe myself, identify as a nigga. We cool with that. Oh, he's normal. He's good. This is my dog. See? It is a program. It is a system that we were born in and shaped in. Born into sin, shaped in iniquity. But we have an opportunity to come out of that. So we're still talking about waiting, being in the waiting room of God. We're waiting. So we have no choice but to gain patience. So when we wait, we have to discover how to wait. We in a hurry to receive and manifest what we need. We're in a hurry for that. But God is not in a hurry. God said that I know what you know not. He did say it. Didn't he say it? Didn't God say, I know what you know not? That's what he said. I know what you know not. So does this mean that take us outside of God himself from being able to become one with God? No, it does not. Look at what Allah did. I want y'all to hear me. Look at what Allah did. Allah, inside of the vessel, inside of the greatest creation that he chose to move through, a human being, he reserved a place inside of the human being only for himself to be supreme. So inside of every human being is a reservation only for the highest intelligence of God himself. You cannot get access at your own self of intelligence until the supreme intelligence in you allow you that access. I hope I'm making sense. It is in you, but it's reserved for the supreme God himself. So Allah says, I know what man knows not. When we hear that scripture, we automatically take God out from being a man, from being a human. See what it says? He says that man know not what I know. So that's not calm down. Man is just a description of what God is saying on high. I'm still a man, but my knowledge, my wisdom, my understanding is supreme. It's supreme. So when we see a human being working from a high intelligence, that is God giving access through the vessel to manifest that. Right. My ways are not your ways. Doesn't mean that they're not a human being, though. I want to use the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as the example. When we see him, his ways are not our ways. When he speaks to us, his ways are not our ways. So we all are emotional. We speak about our brother Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. We speak about our brother Kyrie Irving, and all of us have our own opinions. We're entitled to that. We're living too. We're watching it unfold. We're able to read history. We're able to study. We're able to dissect things that we see. But look at what God does. God allows one to represent a little higher, even though it's a human being. So we all have our opinions. And God is observing, God is listening, God is studying the people's responses as prophecy continues to unfold. God is observing all of the responses through the vessels in the highest intelligence. Okay, I'm listening. And then what does God do? God says, okay, I've allowed the people to speak. I've allowed the people to bring their opinions. I've allowed the people to bring their perceptions and their perspectives of what is unfolding. But God says, I've reserved a vessel to speak now. And here comes his representative. And as he opens his mouth and as he speaks supreme wisdom, we're all in amazement. We're all quiet. We're all listening and we're all saying, wow, we are amazed at the words of wisdom because you can hear the divineness coming through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I hope that makes sense. But let's stay on track. We are still in the waiting room of God. We're waiting. Everybody on this live right now, in your own personal life, you're waiting on something. Damn, I need this to hurry up. Man, I need this right here. You got necessities that need to be taken care of. I get it. How do I, Brother Wolf, man, knowledge, how do you know that? Because we're all connected. Energy is not created nor destroyed. Energy is transferred. So the things that I'm going through, guess what? It's millions of more people that can connect to the things that I'm saying because guess what? We're all connected. So some of the things that I'm going through, you're going through the same identical things. That's why you understand the waiting room of God. That's why when I'm speaking, you're able to say, oh man, you talking directly to me. I'm really not. I'm really not talking directly to you, but I am talking directly to you. I'm telling you everything that I'm expressing to you, I'm expressing from my reality. But you're able to connect. You're able to connect. All praise is due to Allah. We see the people doing this and that, and unconsciously compare and unconsciously compare and consciously compare. This is why we become impatient a lot of times. Because it is natural. It's natural. It's natural to see other people and whatever we're waiting on. We may see someone that whatever we're waiting on, they already have got what we're waiting on. So it's like, oh man, I'm waiting on mine. I see they got theirs. They got theirs. They got theirs. Where's mine? We unconsciously compare our personal life to others and what we see. This is why in the Holy Quran it says, do not allow your eyes to long for what others have. Allah says that is a trial and a tribulation for you. Allah don't make that a trial for you. We make it a trial for ourselves, but Allah is on our side. He's telling us, don't allow it to become a trial for you. He's allowing us to understand, I'm going to give you this before you put yourself in a situation to allow that to be a trial for you. Allah says, yes, this is about to unfold, but don't allow your eyes to long for it and for it to become a trial for you. No, the reality is going to unfold, but I'm giving you warning before it unfolds. You see this person with that. You see that person with that. Naturally, we see somebody with something and we say, damn, oh, I want one of those. Man, that's live. We can't stop that. That's a reality. That we can't stop that. All of us wear nice name brand clothes, no matter if you're wearing your own clothes, you wearing Polo or Gucci or Balenciaga or whatever you Prada, you put something on. Why are you putting it on? You ain't the first person to put it on. You seen someone else with it. No matter if you seen it on your phone, being advertised. You seen a rapper with it on. You seen an actor with it on. You seen someone else with it on, and the idea has hit you because you've perceived it. You've seen it, and you say, "Oh, I like that. I want me one." That's natural. So Allah says, yes, you're going to see it. Even though you see it, don't allow it to become a trial, because now you put yourself in the waiting room. We are in the waiting room of God on something. All of us are in a waiting room. There is no way that you can get around the waiting room. You got to be in the waiting room, but it's how you wait. It's how we wait. Patience is developed in the waiting room. We can't get around it. You got to wait. See? It's discovering patience in the waiting room. I got to wait, man. Other people are coming in the waiting room. You see them. You've been in the waiting room. Other people coming in, they asking you, how long you been in here? Y'all know how we go to the doctor. Damn, man, I got something else to do. How long you been waiting? I've been in here an hour. Damn. First thing we do, we think, damn, they've been in here an hour. It's going to be an hour for me. Not so. See, we can't get ahead of ourselves. We get to asking other people, how long you been waiting? Oh, I've been waiting 2 hours. Damn, I'm going to be in here 2 hours. Oh, my God. We already start shooting ourselves down before. Have you ever came somewhere and somebody been waiting? Right. Have you ever been in a waiting room and you ask somebody, how long you been waiting? They say, I've been in here 2 hours. And you say, damn. And the person come out and they call your name. And the other person be like, hey, I've been waiting here 2 hours. You don't tell the person who called you to come to the back. You don't say, you know what? Yeah, they said they've been here 2 hours. They've been waiting. So go ahead and let them go. What you do? Shit, that's me. They call your name. Oh yeah, that's me. That person, you hear that person still complain. Oh man, I've been waiting this night. You don't care nothing about that. Come on, doc, let's go. See, I just know you called my name. I don't know this person. You said my name. Allahu Akbar. In and out. That's how we have to think about it with Allah. That's how we have to think about it with God. Whatever situation we in, we look at it. Yes, it may be something that we're going through, and that it may be painful. Damn. But guess what? We have to turn our mind and we have to pull forth and bring it to existence for something good to happen, no matter what it looked like. See? Damn, man. I'm homeless. I lost my place. I'm between this place and that place. Man, oh my God. It's hurtful. It's painful, but you got to endure it. God is going to send you small signs. He's going to send you little relief in the difficulty. Isn't this what the Quran says? Inside of difficulty, there is relief. There is ease for you. Inside of the difficulty, God is going to it's like being in the fire. Huh? It's like being in the fire. But in the difficulty, in the fire, you're able to get little drinks of something to cool you off with. In the fire, God brings you some to quench your thirst, give you something cool while you're in the fire. See, sometimes we can be in the fire and not get burnt, not even get touched. And certain people can say, once it's all over with, and you tell the world what you was going through, and people say, I could never tell that. I could never tell that. I could never tell that you were going through what you said you was going through until you said it. Allahu Akbar. All praise is due to Allah for that. You may not see anything changing, but patience is working. I'm going to say that again, family. You may not see anything changing your situation. We give up because we don't see the change. But faith is being able to see things that are not yet manifested. Kun fayakun. Be, and it is. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was teaching one time, and he said he had a marker in his hand. I want y'all to hear me. He had a marker in his hand, and he said, you see this marker? He said, you see this? And everybody said, yes, sir. He said, can you see 2? And everybody said, yes, sir. He said, can you see 3? Can you see 10? And everybody said, yes, sir. All you have to do is see the 1. And this is the reality. You get that? Do you understand that? Long as you can see the reality of 1, you can multiply and manifest and pour on the 1 to bring more than 1. What do you mean by that, brother? Knowledge? What do you mean, brother? If we can see the example and what God has made out of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, look at the world that we live in. Look at the tricks and lies, the deceptive intelligence of a world that we're shaped in. But we can look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as Jesus said in the scriptures. I'm in the world, but I'm not of it. So if we can see 1, the reality of 1, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we can multiply that. We can duplicate that. All we need is the reality of 1. All praise is due to Allah. As I close, gain a new perspective. You are in the waiting room. Wait with the right attitude. I know that can be a challenge, even for myself. I'm not just telling you, I'm telling myself that. When I'm talking and I'm saying this, I'm saying that to you too. I'm talking to myself. Man, gain a new perspective, knowledge, when you're in this waiting room, man. Yes, you got some heavy things on you. It's heavy. I never said it wasn't. It's heavy. A lot of things, man, that we go through. And it feels like you want to give up. I'll be the first to raise my hand, man. It's days where I feel like giving up. It is. But something tells me, no, life is my kingdom. If I show the intelligence of the universe that I give up, I can cause myself to start having physical health problems. Because everything is pulled from the mind. The universe doesn't discriminate on how you operate. If you say, well, you know what, man, I'm giving up. This is too. And it's been times where we've said that. It's been times where we said, man, I can't go on. We become frustrated. And yes, God understands. But we can't stay there long. We can't stay in that mindset too long, because when we do, we can bring physical ailments to ourselves. Have you ever been mad? Have you ever been so mad, so upset to where you start having a migraine, you get a headache? Come on. that came from the mind, not the brain. The brain and the mind is two different things. We willed the headache from the mind and it transferred to the brain. Now we either have to take some Tylenol, some aspirin, some Advil, some medicine, an ibuprofen. Now we have to take something because we've manifested from the mind from our situation. I'm not pleased. I'm displeased where I'm at in my life. I've been there. I've been there. Don't allow a moment of agony to make you draw a conclusion about your life prematurely. I'm going to say it again. Don't allow a moment of agony. We've all been through agony. Some of us are in agony as we speak on the live. You can't escape it. We might as well learn about it so we'll know how to identify it and deal with it in the best of ways. Some people say, oh, I don't pray. Oh, man. God, he built a system where you have no choice but to submit. You don't have a choice. I don't care how big and bad you are. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how articulate you may sound. I don't care how much money you have. You got to submit. It's a built-in system that you cannot defeat. You have to submit. This is why in the Holy Quran it says, you submit willingly or unwillingly. Man, think about that. Man, you got to submit anyway. You got to submit unwillingly. So why would I want to make it harder on myself? I don't want to feel it. Hell, I'm already knowing I got to go through it. It's life. Don't allow a moment of agony to make you draw a conclusion about your life prematurely. Where you at in your life is not who you are. But the world has shaped us in iniquity to judge just like that. So we become embarrassed. We fall down. We become embarrassed. Oh, I don't want the world to see that I failed. I understand that. But when God is working on you, who cares? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says, anytime you see someone going through something, don't you laugh because your time is coming. He wasn't trying to speak down on somebody else. He understands the laws of God, the laws of the universe. We have to go through this. You can't escape it. The only way you escape this is when you expire. Well, your time is up. No more struggling. No more none of that. So when people become ungrateful, and I get it, I know sometimes we say things that we don't mean. You don't think God understands that? That's why God is the most merciful. That's why you can't say Allah is merciful. No, he's the most merciful because it's things that we think, it's things that we say that is foolish to God. And God just sit there and he give us mercy. He say, oh my God, yeah. I'm gonna give you some mercy. Yeah, because you don't know what you're talking about. You just so emotional right now. You an emotional wreck. And I don't want to live no more and all this. And God mercy has to kick in and says, oh, foolish woman, foolish man. God says, I know what you know not. Your ways are not my ways. mercy comes in. A blessing given too soon is not a blessing at all. I'm going to say it again, family. A blessing given too soon is not a blessing at all. Listen, boy, I can tell y'all some things. I've been around millionaires. I've been around billionaires. I've been on private jets. I've been here. I've been there. Prematurely wasn't ready for that. Wasn't ready for it. As we looked around and as we experienced some beautiful things, God gave us a glimpse. So when you see people that have millionaires and billionaires, that's a hell of a test. That's a hell of a... Listen, I heard Mike Tyson say something. You know how people say he's crazy. Mike Tyson is crazy. He got a big old tribal sign on his face. What was he thinking? He's retarded. He's stupid. He's crazy. How could you put something so big on your face? Never judge a book by the cover, family. Never judge a book by the cover. Let me tell you. This is my Quran. Look at it. It don't even have a cover on it. Look. Look at this Quran. Look at it. I've been having this Quran since I was in prison. I got this Quran right here in 2005. It's 2022. I've been having this same Quran for 17 years. My Quran it has all kinds of highlights. It's all kinds of highlights. I have another Quran, of course. I have a brand new for decoration. I have a nice one, but this is my favorite one because this is battle tested. It's battle tested. When I fly, when I go places, I make sure that I tuck this in my briefcase or I tuck this into my luggage. This one, I need this. It's all pages hanging all off. I love it. I love it. Page barely hanging on, coffee stain. Damn, I got a coffee stain on my Quran. How did the coffee stain get on there, brother? Well, brother, I was in my bag. And I'm drinking coffee. And I must have spilled some on there when I was highlighting or something. See? But I was in an elevated place having a cup of coffee, and something must have happened where I spilled it or something. But all praise is due to Allah. A blessing given too soon is not a blessing at all. So we have to be on guard. We have to be thinking, okay, wait a minute. Am I ready for this? Allah knows if we're ready for it or not. So before you get frustrated because we in the waiting room, waiting on the blessing, always strive to learn and to discover how to wait. Wait a minute. Am I really ready for this? Well, the first time I went through this, it's not that you failed. It's that we learning. I didn't fail. Failing is only when you don't reap the teaching from whatever you had to learn. That's the only time you fail. It's when you don't apply the lesson out of what you went through. many millionaires, many billionaires, they'll be quick to tell you their stories of failure. We be looking at them, oh, this is a billionaire. Oh, look, he got the new this. He got the new that. Oh, look at the chain. Oh, my God. But we're not listening to what they're saying. We're so distracted from their lifestyle. But they're really telling you, oh, man, I failed many a times. I remember the story about Donald Trump. Trump went bankrupt. But Trump said he didn't panic. He said, yeah, I didn't have $1 billion. I get it again. See, but when we hear that, oh, what? You lost $1 billion? What? Oh, my God. We be so stuck on what we lost. The low vibration, we stay at the low vibration because we're so thinking about the past. Oh, damn, man, I had it. But the reality is, man, I had it once. Guess what? Go back to the pen. If I've seen it once, I can see it again. If I can see one, I can see many. I've been on the private jets. I've been in the top 6-star hotels in New York, LA. I've been moving around. I spoke in Puerto Rico in front of 300 people. I know what it feels like to speak into people's hearts, into their souls, and have a standing ovation, seeing the tears coming from myself, coming from the reality of myself. God will show you glimpses of the kingdom just so you can realign and reset yourself. Last but not least, I'll leave you with this. Sometimes your goodness can be proven by saying, not yet. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes your goodness can be proven by saying, not yet. That takes a hell of a discipline. That takes a hell of a lot for something to be in front of you and you say, not yet, man, not yet. I got to restrain from that. I'm not in the position for that. Even though it can be presented to you, now you have to look in the mirror. Now you have to have that hard conversation. Now you have to have that hard dialogue. Do I leave the waiting room too early? Or do I sit in the waiting room and gain the patience, learn what I need to learn, and then come on out when the time is right? Sometimes your goodness can be proven by saying, not yet. Brothers and sisters, if there is anything that I've said that has rubbed anybody the wrong way, that is not my true intention. But if there is something that I've said of benefit, understand that it comes directly from Allah through me. I'm a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I'm striving to help that man. I'm striving to help myself. This is therapy for me when I do go live. When I am inspired, I'm not me. It's not me in front of you. It's something in me. It's bigger than me. I have to shrink myself when I go live. This is why I tell you, I don't go live. I don't hit the live button just so you can see me. I don't do that. It has to be something to where God is saying, speak now. Shrink yourself. Don't be afraid to shrink yourself and get out of the way and allow it to come through you. I want y'all to hear me, family. We have to shrink ourselves. So, brothers and sisters, I pray to Allah God that He allow us to become patient as we wait in the waiting room of God. Become patient. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. But as long as we strive, man, and get up, and get up, and get up, and get up, as long as we got breath, life is our kingdom. Don't let nobody judge you and trick you out of your own position, because we've listened to them too much. May Allah continue to bless you and your families. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, I'm on YouTube as well as Winford X. Brothers and sisters, if you have not picked up my book, Determined to Change, it is still available. I have copies. It is still available, Determined to Change. Some of my brothers and sisters on the live have the book, and they have given me good feedback from the book. If you know anyone that's incarcerated, physically or mentally, you can go to determinedtochange.org and you can order the book for yourself or for your family. And allow me to come into your world. Allow me just for a second to come into your world. Continue to come to the live. Instagram, Knowledge5845. And my YouTube is Winford X. So with that being said, I greet you, brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace, which we say in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum.